All right, welcome back to the Run.down post-game show here on the Strickland YouTube channel, Strickland Twitter, and if you're listening to this the day after Strickland Podcast Network, I am Sam. I am joined by Tyrese. This show is brought to you by FanDuel. The Knicks win yet another clutch, close game, 128 to 125 over the Atlanta Hawks, who are now 0-5 since Trae Young has returned. So that's some pretty good stuff right there. But yeah, we found out some more stuff about this Knicks team. As you know, more and more players are getting injured. New guys are having to step up. One, Kevin McCullough Jr. We'll talk about him. But this is a great game for the Knicks dynamic duo of Karl-Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson hitting some clutch shots down the stretch. Reigning clutch player of the year shows everybody exactly why he got that reward last year. Finished with 34 points and 5 assists on 15 to 29 from the field, and no free throws taken from him today. Most of the free throws were taken from Karl-Anthony Towns and OG Anunoby, who hit, I want to say, his last 4 straight to really seal the deal for the Knicks tonight, especially off that clutch offensive rebound and getting that steal on Jalen Johnson. Just really good stuff from a lot of guys on this team tonight. Karl-Anthony Towns really dominated this matchup against the Hawks, who really didn't have any answers for him, and got Okongwu kind of fouled out basically with his activity. Really good drives tonight, really good decision making offensively from him. Finished with 36 and 15. This has been a favorable matchup for Karl over the last couple years against Atlanta, so he's continuing to do his damage against this team. 17 of 18 from the free throw line, so pretty dominant game from him. Without Porzingis, I mean, when it's just Okongwu out there, the Hawks really don't have anyone in that center spot that can really even bother Towns in the slightest. So there's that. And yeah, Kevin McCullough Jr. He gave us 13 and 8 off the bench. He was the first player off the bench today. Played about 24 minutes. 2 assists, 2 steals, was hustling, hit some threes, just had some really good activity out there. And we continue to learn more and more about the Knicks young players that didn't really get much run from last year. But yeah, this was a pretty good game. Didn't like to see the Knicks really play with their food towards the end there, but shit happens. But yeah, Tyrese, your thoughts on today's game?
The academy is thriving, and that goes in the face of that terrorist known as Tom Thibodeau. They said that the young guys couldn't play, and Mike Brown, sweet Mike Brown, my precious, my Shayla, is clearly showing you that this team has the ability to rely on its depth and its young players in order to be productive. I mean, aside from Dadier, I think every young player on this team has had their moment to be able to impact the rotation and be able to give us good positive minutes, which again kind of shows why the change was needed, why the change was made, why the change was needed and necessary. So the Knicks are experimenting more. They're trusting more of their young guys in key spots. Like they were closing the game with Kevin McCullough Jr. and Tyler Kolek. I think that kind of shows you how flexible Mike Brown could be. And I also think it's credit to the players who've been able to kind of show their abilities to be productive. I think it is just really strong performances from them. Can't say enough about Kevin McCullough Jr. Josh Hart should be sweating. That yeah, Kev was not sincere. I'm playing, but like, yeah. But yeah, like Kevin McCullough is maybe I think like the 12th guy, the 13th guy really for this team, and he came in and he gave you 13 and 8, 2 assists, 2 steals. And he was productive. I think that kind of shows you like this team does have depth. This team does have the ability to go a lot deeper into its bench. And this team has the ability to really rely on guys that I don't think people thought they would be able to rely on, which is huge. And you have someone like Deuce coming back. You have someone like Shamet coming back soon. So again, this team who's already deep is going to get even deeper. Gershon Yabusele is the maddest man on the planet. Like, all these second-year dudes basically just took his job. That dude is cooked. It's
So yeah,
over.
Gershon,
It's
it's been real. You got your paycheck. You have courtside seats to Knicks games for half a year, but it's been real, brother.
I think Dottie and Gershon are up out of here. I feel pretty confident in that happening. Poor Diawara is gonna lose like all of his French friends.
Au
But
revoir to all the French guys except Diawara because he's the only productive French player we've had in however long.
since I can't say Fournier. Since damn. Damn shit. We don't have any French dudes who actually be hooping for us. But yeah, it'd be very interesting to see what happens with the Dottier and Yabusele salary slots. But I do think it's fair to say that like someone like McCullough can probably get some more minutes across the stretch, or hearts out the next couple of games. Um, Tyler Kolek has been reliable, not tonight, but like just as somebody who is able to give the team minutes. We've seen it with 40 being able to sub in for Mitch on back-to-backs. Just being able to get these guys into the offense, being able to get these guys the ability to play and these guys be able to perform in their minutes is huge. It's a very, very huge thing for this team.
Yeah, no, this team definitely has it has depth. Like, be able to see guys like Kevin McCullough Jr., who is, like you said, probably going to be like the 12th or 13th man when everybody's fully healthy and the team is fully completed. And he was able to come in and basically slot in and be productive. 13 and 8. I mean, and like he gave us 4 offensive rebounds. He gave you that nice hustle, gave you some nice hustle plays. Was really able to be a Josh Hart light in these minutes. And the fact that these guys have all been productive while these guys have been hurt has allowed for the Knicks to not really have to worry about rushing a lot of these guys back. It also has allowed for the Knicks to not have to really play guys a lot of heavy minutes. Like Kevin McCullough was able to give you 23 minutes tonight. You also saw something tonight where the Knicks were able to like make these like offense defense subs. You have more bodies that you can throw in for defensive substitutions now at the end of games. Like the Knicks, they took out Brunson in Towns, and they were able to put in Mitch, OG, McCullough Jr., and Kolek out there for defense, and they held their own out there. So that is also another thing that we're able to see with, of course, these guys being able to produce now in these minutes. Even someone like Mo Diawara, you can like throw him out there for defensive substitutions. Like he has shown the ability to be productive in his minutes that he's gotten to. He started today's game. He had 5 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 blocks. Start off the game with a nice block on Trae Young. So I mean, hey, the Knicks are learning more about the players that they have, lineups that they can run, and it's all going to be for the benefit of when we're playing basketball in April and May, that you know which lineups work, which ones don't. Like today, for example, Mike Brown, he tried to go for the Brunson, Kolek, Clarkson lineup. It didn't work today. Sometimes it's just not going to be the way things go, and he pivoted. So that's what you want. Kind of this is what these games are for. So you can see, all right, against this opponent, this lineup works, this one doesn't, and then move on from there. And that was really encouraging to see. And of course, you know, with Jalen Brunson here, clutch player of the year. While the game did seem like it was slipping from the Knicks, I was pretty confident that we would win this one just because Jalen Brunson seemed to be in that mode. He did get stripped at the end from Nickeil Alexander-Walker. I wasn't really a fan too much of the Knicks hunting Trae Young. I know it worked to their benefit a lot of times, but I felt like at a certain point, it felt like the Hawks were kind of hedging and recovering a little bit better than the Knicks anticipated, and they didn't really have any plans outside of that. But Jalen Brunson was still able to make shit work. Hit that really deep pull-up 3 in Naw's face, the possession before he got stripped. And that kind of really let me know that this game was almost going to be ours. Just needed some OG magic at the end, that offensive rebound, the free throws. And he had 3 steals tonight, 3 steals and a block. So, you know, OG still doing his thing defensively out there.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I thought OG's defense was good. I thought Bridges, especially, was able to make Trae Young's life hell. Trae Young went 2 for 9 this game. Just did not have anything going offensively. I thought Jalen Johnson was also pretty handled as well. He only had 20 points. And a lot of those points kind of came in the last couple of minutes of the game. For the first half, I believe he only had 4. So I thought the Knicks were really good at being able to stifle those guys. Now the role players for the Hawks, like Alexander Walker, Onyeka Okonu had 31. Asa Newell actually had a pretty solid game as well. So the role players kind of gave them some really big moments, but I feel like the Knicks handled their stars effectively. Zachary Richache is the disgrace to basketball as we know it, and I think the Knicks were just really able to benefit from the fact that like they have wing size players now. And I think the big thing with the team was like, where is the extra wing depth going to come from? And now you're seeing that like
It
it's
comes
not
from
perfect.
within.
Yeah, like we were the wings that we needed the entire time. But yeah, the fact that you have the guys like McCullough and DOR who can give like McHale and OG breathers. OG played 38 tonight, but I do think a part of that was also like you wanted to see if you could trust a DOR or McCullough, and I do think that if they gain more trust, you could probably see those minutes come down a little bit. Um, yeah, man, I'm just super proud of what the baby Knicks were able to do. The academy is thriving.
Yeah, no, I mean, I feel like a lot of Knicks fans, us included, have been kind of low on the Knicks young players, and maybe that's partially due to Thibs not really giving them much of a chance, except for garbage time, over the last year or so. But yeah, no, they've definitely shown some signs. I mean, McCullough Jr., Tyler Kolek, Diawara, Huck Porty, they've all shown us something this year. And they've been able to contribute in various ways. The Kolek and Diawara have been given much more opportunity, and hopefully Kevin McCullough Jr. I mean, Josh Hart is probably going to be out for the next 3 games, and they'll evaluate him from there. But I could imagine they are more inclined to take it a little bit easier with his recovery, just because the guys on the bench have been able to replicate production to a lesser degree. But yeah, no, this has definitely been really encouraging to see from the Knicks that their young players have been able to step in and really contribute right away. Shout out to Trae Young, who, came back in the game, and the Knicks were able to win because he was in the game. I really think I tweeted it out just a couple minutes ago that I really think that if he doesn't come back into the game, the Hawks continue with their momentum and probably win this game because the Knicks were playing with their food that much in the fourth quarter. Trae Young is like really like bad. Like he's awful. Like
I
he's bad.
There's just nothing that fits him anymore in this team. Like I think Jalen Johnson, I don't think he's as bad a defender as Trey, even though he's been a pretty bad defender. I think since he got more usage, like yeah, it might be that time. And I think the problem with the league is like a lot of point guards just do not have that kind of trade value because you look at someone like John Morant, you look at someone like Trae Young, LaMelo Ball, and it's like these guys who are really good at putting up flashy numbers and former All-Stars and all that stuff, and it's just like the ability to play off of other players, the ability to, show yourself to be that number one option, even as a smaller player, or in LaMelo's case, a very mercurial player. That's the word we'll go with instead of saying stupid. But yeah, man, I just think that I think the Hawks are better than some of their parts when Trey is not playing. And it kind of feels like Trey trying to integrate himself into the offense is making everybody else not have the success that I think they were having previously. I think you can build around someone like Nikhil, like Alexander Walker. You can build around Jalen Johnson. You can build around Onyeka Okongwu. I think Asa Newell is a good prospect. I think Krejci is somebody who gives you good shooting off the bench. They're not perfect. I think they're a playoff team, but it just kind of feels like when you're trying to appease in many ways Trae Young and try to alleviate his usage, and then also someone trash as hell like Dyson Daniels offensively.
Dyson Daniels got that bag and turned back into a garbage player, man. Oh my God. He had that one good year for Atlanta, contract year. Yo, people gotta stop getting fooled by contract year players, man. Dyson Daniels, robbed them boys.
Yeah, this is why you need to actually use restricted free agency. I do not understand the desire to not use restricted free agency. It's a pretty good benefit. But yeah, the fact that he is getting that kind of money and he's as limited as he is, I think I don't care how good your defense is. I really don't care how good your defense is. If offensively you're going to be shooting 19% from three.
And was he 35+% last year or something like that?
Yeah, he was 34%. Sorry, not 19, 13% from three.
Yeah.
And 60% from the line for a grand true shooting total of 51%.
God damn.
Yeah.
God damn.
I'm sorry.
And then they have.
Did he get most improved too?
No, he got votes for it.
Who got most improved last year? Forget.
Wait, was it him?
It had to have been him.
Wait,
he got it. Yeah, he got it.
No way. This is a crazy fall off, man.
Yeah, that's nasty, bro. I'm sorry. He improved from being giga ass to
he tricked
mediocre.
Everyone, man.
He absolutely tricked everyone. This is atrocious. He's not even taking threes anymore. He's like Josh fucking Hart out there, but worse. Josh Hart can at least shoot 33% from three. You don't need to guard this dude. You do not need to guard this dude.
And then they got him on top of former number 1 overall pick Zachary Ricochet, who is absolutely garbage. How are all our second round picks better than Zachary Ricochet?
Yeah, that's the funny thing. The Knicks have just been able to benefit from taking dudes in the second round that are better than most teams' first round picks.
Yeah, I mean, and it's so important, and I think the reason why it's so much more important and it's so much more exciting for Knicks fans now, especially as we're in this championship contending window. The Knicks are in this championship contending window, and as the team gets more expensive, approaching the second apron and all that, it matters so much more to be able to hit on depth pieces in the second round, because it allows you to do what kind of OKC's doing, have all these random players that can come in and swap in and do things. And maybe OKC seeing a little bit now that some of their players are not as, talented exponentially as they thought. And they might have to do a trade or whatever it may be. But the idea of having guys that come in and they're on these cheap deals and they're able to contribute and you're able to have them under team control for all this time, that matters under this new CBA. So, yeah.
Yeah, and the good thing is DOR is on a rookie minimum contract this season. Tyler Kolek is in year 2 of his 4-year deal. You have McCullough, who's on a 2A currently. So he's not even officially signed to the team yet. And I do think that if you're looking at next year, all these guys getting contracts, or in Kolek's case, an extension, and that's how you kind of build that depth, and that's how you cycle that depth around. So I think the academy is thriving, and I think the Knicks are in a position where they can really be able to kind of almost not reset their books, but really set their books up for the next kind of years, just by giving guys opportunities and being able to develop these guys.
Yeah. All right, let's get to some comments. We do have a $20 super chat. Shout out to the $20 super chat from The D 1995B. Joyous Kwanzaa to all. Love a Knicks win against the Hawks. Thought we were in the twilight zone with all the cat free throws, but the Hawks are just that bad on defense. Hawks need to trade, and I love the tray and all caps there and trade. They trade Young out of there if they want to improve. Yeah, no, the Hawks, they definitely are. It's so weird, this situation, because like Trae Young is like bad, and like he's not even like trying to improve, it seems, or like try to do anything else in what seems to be like a contract year for him. Like he's up for extension. They did not extend him. And yeah, the team's been better without him. Since he's come back, they've lost all their games. He's put up pretty good numbers in some of the games that they've played, but I mean, his impact on the court is, you see it especially on the defensive side of the ball. The Knicks were hunting him relentlessly down the stretch. And there were moments where he got switched onto guys, and it's like it didn't even matter that he was there. But yeah, no, the Hawks situation with Trae Young is a very interesting one, and one that I have been waiting to see the conclusion of, just because actually I don't want to see a conclusion to it, because I'm enjoying seeing all the Hawks fans complain on my timeline and make all these jokes about calling Trae Young the dictator. So yeah, that's one of the funniest plot lines of the NBA season so far. But yeah, I don't. The thing is, I know like a lot of their fans want to trade him, but it's like, who wants to trade for Trae Young? Like, who's stupid enough to do that?
That's the problem. Like, I don't think a lot of teams are looking at Trae Young and just, yeah, this is the guy that we need, because like he basically needs to play as the best player on your team, and he isn't really good enough to be the best player on your team for a championship contending team, or a team that wants to be for a championship. And I think that's where a lot of the issues show up.
Like, Hawks fans were retweeting the video of Alan Hahn roasting Trae Young and agreeing with it. Like, this is where we are with how Hawks fans feel about Trae Young, especially seeing how their team performed without him for such an extended period of time, where Jalen Johnson and Nickeil Alexander-Walker had the reins to the team. So yeah, I just don't see a team being willing to trade for him. Whatever team trades for him, they can't be wanting to give up a lot, and they have to be kind of basically desperate. I don't know what team fits that bill, especially in this new CBA, where having a guy like him on your books could limit you, especially if you're going to extend him for the amount that he wants. It's like you're really kind of limiting yourself there. So that is going to be something that is interesting to monitor going forward. But yeah, no, Cat getting all these free throws, I hope this is a turn for him, but I'm not necessarily sure if all the refs are going to be necessarily giving him the calls that he finally deserves after all this time. But it was very nice to see him get all these free throws. I mean, he was getting fouled, and the Hawks had no one to guard him. Okongwu did his best. They threw Asa Newell on him. I don't know who else did.
They just kind of they threw shit at the wall trying to see whatever stuck.
Yeah, because I mean, without Porzingis, they really don't have someone big enough to really even bother him all too much. And yeah, I mean, poor Okongwu and Jalen Johnson, they tried their hardest. And Okongwu fouled out because of it. So
yeah, I think for me it's just like the Trae Young thing. Yeah, man, I think they're cooked. I think they're cooked. I think they will probably out of that pretty soon. There are just so many flawed star guards, quote unquote, in the league that it's kind of hard to be able to find one that would fit the team that you want. Like, it's just a lot of extra work to do. And I don't know if anybody's really willing to do that for Trae Young. But yeah, the Dictator's a hilarious fucking name.
Oh yeah, no, that's one of the funniest nicknames that a fan base has given their own player that they don't like. I wish we were that creative when we had like Alfred Payton and Evan Fournier and all these guys come through our team that we didn't like. Knicks fans, we got to do a little bit better about creating nicknames for our.
Like we got Beyblade. Beyblade was fire.
It was short lived though. It was short lived.
They call it Butterball now. That's low key kind of hilarious. That's kind of funny.
All right, let's get to some other comments here. I do want to check on some other teams around the league that are in our conference because the Cavs played today and they lost, and the Pistons played the other day and they lost. So it's gonna be some good conversations there. Chris Bernhardt 97 says, "Roll dice on that, you foul baiting shrimp. Nice turnover to cost your team the game. Have fun in Brooklyn or Sacramento next year." Does Brooklyn want to trade for him though? I could see Sacramento doing it just because Sacramento would just be doing anything. But like, yeah, no. It's so funny because like there are still some people today that will be like, "Oh, Trae Young owns the Knicks," and it's like, really? Are we still talking about 2021?
You mean Matt Moore?
Yeah,
that's some shit that Matt Moore would say.
That's definitely something he would say.
Matt Moore probably said that the Hawks lost this game due to trying to reintegrate Trae into their system rather than the Knicks just beating them because they got 20 offensive rebounds and dominated them at the free throw line. But yeah, that's something that they would probably end up doing.
Yeah. I have to bring up this tweet from Kelly Iko here. Cavs head coach Kenny Atkinson following Cleveland's 117-100 loss to Houston. I rarely say this, but this game was over in the first quarter. We weren't ready for the fight. It's getting real bleak in Cleveland. I mean, have we ever seen a fall off from a 60-win team returning most of their roster the next year?
No, not that I could think of. Like, yeah, no. Like, I can't think of a team. Maybe like the Golden State Warriors after KD left and Klay.
But they didn't return most of their same roster.
That's fair. Like
they had huge roster turnover that year.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I have never seen like a 60-win team go from a 60-win team to this.
And they were turning most of the same team. Like, they added like what, Larry Nance and Lonzo Ball, and those are actually supposed to be like positive additions for them, and they're like not really doing well. But yeah, no, I mean that 17-point lead that they lost the other day might have been like part of like this breaking point that they're reaching right now.
I think a lot of teams just kind of want to blow it up in some aspect or form. And with the Cavs, I'm just like, it's been 4 years. It's been 4 years, right? 22, 23, 23, 24, 24, 25, 20, okay, yeah. So 4 years. And you had the 60-win season. You got the new coach. The new coach was supposed to fix everything. You guys got the second round. Stopped. The year before that, second round against the Celtics, stopped. First round against the Knicks, stopped. And when you got stopped in 5 every game. Like, and you went to war against the Magic in 2024. And you went to war against that team. Like, that team had like Paolo Banchero in his second year and Franz Wagner in his third year. Both of them in their first playoff series. Franz could not shoot the ball effectively at all, and you guys still went to 7. I don't even think they had Suggs in that matchup. Like, or if they did, he might have been like severely bad. But like, yeah, like the Cavs have just been. They've been arguably the most disappointing team in the league the last couple of seasons, just given the fact that the talent that they have. They had 3 All-Stars last season. They have 4 All-Stars on their roster. Like, at some point, it just becomes this roster's the problem. Like, Lonzo Ball is probably one of the worst acquisitions of the offseason.
He is so bad. Like, he is so bad.
I think he's cooked. I can understand, like last season he's coming from injury. You give him a second. I think he's cooked. I think it's over. I think he's done. Good that he has a team option, but like he is shooting 30% from the field, 26% from three. It is over.
Yeah, no, it's
And
really bad.
and like they just do not have any relevant depth. Like I think Jalen Tyson is a good player. Aside from like Sam Merrill's solid. Aside from that, who else do you hear about on this team? Which is kind of the problem.
Not much, and I think they're still relying on hoping that Max Strus can come back from whatever injury he had. I know he had like what off-season like foot surgery or something like that. Good luck trying to get someone like that coming back in to, really be a heavy contributor to winning when everything else seems to be crumbling around you. I think they're also going to be a team that's looking to trade some of their pieces. So this could be a heavy like trade deadline coming up for the NBA, just because there's a lot of teams in disarray and a lot of pieces not working on teams right now. So that's going to be very interesting to see going forward. Jordan Bub here. Between last night and tonight, Hornets beat the Magic on the road. Jazz beat the Pistons. Nets beat Timberwolves on the road. Jazz beat Spurs on the road on a back-to-back. So this win is well worth it for the Knicks. Especially with the Pistons, they lost the other day to the Jazz. And the Knicks winning today, I think they're like, what, 2 games out of first?
2 games out of first.
And, the Pistons, they play a Lakers team soon on Monday, I believe. That Lakers team, apparently JJ Redick said he was going to get into them. Their meeting was going to be very uncomfortable in practice over the weekend. So we'll see how much that affects the Lakers against this Pistons team. And Lakers could end up coming out playing pretty well against this Pistons team, and maybe that's another loss for the Pistons. And the Knicks, they have a pretty favorable schedule going forward. So, that much closer to the 1 seed for the Knicks. So yeah, that's going to be very fun. Jordan Bub here with a comment from Kevin McCullough Jr. on Josh Hart. He says, that's my big bro on the team for sure. After his 13-8 with 3 threes. I think the 3 threes is very encouraging. Jump shot doesn't look too shabby.
It's not broken. Like,
yeah, it's not broken. And with Peter Patton on the squad, who's been helping everyone with their shots, I'm not too worried. So that was it's very encouraging to see him knock down those threes, for him to take the threes. He took one pull up one in transition too. That was
and that went halfway down. It was low key. It was like kind of fire. I was like, I thought it was gonna go down. That would have been peak. But yeah, I mean the shot doesn't look too broken. The fact that if he could shoot, he could play in this team, and that was the big thing. Just him being able to shoot. I know that Kevin McCullough got you choked up. I get it. I try to. How great.
Now I'm choking on water like a dumbass. Oh. His performance was very encouraging. And you're seeing around the league as other teams either struggle with depth, especially we just talked about the Cavs, who are struggling with depth, and you're able to have a guy like Kevin McCullough Jr., who was, I don't know if he was healthy for most of last year, and then when he came back, he was mainly in Westchester. So we really didn't get an opportunity to see much of him. I caught a glimpse of him a little bit in college. I thought he looked pretty good on those Kansas teams that he was on. But I also know he dealt with injury a ton in college too. But he was someone that was projected to be like a first-round pick for most of that draft cycle that I think he was in. And the Knicks were able to get him at like what? I don't even remember. What did they get him at?
54.
Yeah, they got him in like the 50s. So, I mean, you're getting someone that was projected to be a first-round talent in the 50s. And if he can stay healthy and, it's pretty encouraging right there. That alone is pretty encouraging.
Yeah, if he can stay healthy and he can shoot the ball, like he's a rotation player. I think the same thing for Diawara. I think it's good to be able to see these guys actually show the ability to shoot the ball. I thought it was nice for Diawara to kind of get a little bit more aggressive in finding his shot. McCullough, again, being willing to find a shot, take those pull-up threes. Again, like this is really huge because like you get a lot more like 6'7", 6'8" wings that the Knicks kind of have been looking for. So being able to get that kind of player and have them cheap, that's where that's where money is found in the league.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, and you see that with some of the other top teams out there. Let's see what else we got here. OG Anunoby secures the win for the Knicks down the stretch. Over the Hawks, he had 15 points, 9 in the fourth, 10 rebounds, 3 offensive rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, 1 block. Yeah, no, OG was clutch today in the fourth quarter. Nailing those free throws. Again, that clutch offensive rebound. Getting Okongwu to foul him and got him fouled out right there. And that steal on that pass from Trae Young that he got to Jalen Johnson. Trae he had Mitch on him, and I don't think he expected to have Mitch on him and didn't know what to really do. And Knicks did a really good job holding their own defensively on those last 2 possessions. And yeah, no, OG just secured the win for us. So shout out to him. It seemed like that game was slipping from the Knicks, and he was able to help take control alongside Jalen Brunson on the offensive side there. So,
yep. Yeah, man. I think OG's just been a monster. I mean, the shot has been kind of inconsistent as he's recovering from the hamstring injury, but there's just so much like floor with him, just given the fact that he's such a good defender. And I love watching him hoop, dude. Like you get to see how he makes winning plays and how much he affects winning, and his team desperately needed that kind of player, and they got it in him. And he just every time he's on the court, the Knicks find a way to win more often than not. And between him and Mikal just being able to do what they do defensively, like that's why the Knicks ceiling is so high, especially when it comes to the playoffs, because they can just rely on those 2 wings, and now you have the academy, and they're spearheading the academy. This is the beautiful part of it. The academy is thriving in all assets.
yeah, no. Ariel Suarez, 31-42 says we messed around with lineups and players, won a clutch game. Coolin'. Yeah, no, I mean, this game really had everything you can ask for. Knicks had a big lead, had some highlight plays in that second quarter that we didn't really talk about. Had the double alley-oop from Mikal to Clarkson back to Mikal.
Why the hell did Mikal Bridges throw an alley-oop to Jordan Clarkson like he's not fucking 34?
he knew that Clarkson had to throw it right back to him. Pause.
Which was,
and then he had to throw it down.
Yo.
And then you had Cat with the little Magic Johnson behind the back to Mikal for the dunk. And then you had Tyler Cloak with a nice crossover and one. A lot of highlights in that second quarter that we didn't really talk about. It kind of got glossed over just because the third quarter heading into the fourth quarter, really the Knicks kind of like started fucking around and the game got closer than we all wanted it to be. But this was a really fun game for the Knicks.
Yeah, it was just super fun to just see like the academy hoop. It was super fun to see Karl-Anthony Towns start to find his rhythm a little bit. Jalen Brunson in the clutch. You kind of got a little bit of everything. OG Anunoby game-saving steal, like just well-oiled machine of a team win. I think just like the Knicks are just able to have so many different contributors, night in, night out. And one guy doesn't have it going, somebody else can step up. And I think that's just kind of what championship teams do. Like they have the ability to rely on all of their parts in order to win. And now the Knicks are looking at 22-9. And they've been dominant, man. They've just been dominant in so many different facets. They've just been able to find ways to win. And it doesn't matter the competition. The fact that they're just able to find the ways to win, like coming back down from 17, being able to hang on late against the Hawks, being able to fight up against, the Magic or come back late against San Antonio. And it's just been that's what winning teams do. That's what championship teams do.
Yep. And the Knicks they're in that category of teams. John Leary 8115 says Hawks fans on Reddit still think Young is better than Brunson. Well, there's a reason why they're on Reddit and not anywhere else. Because most Hawks fans that I've seen on Twitter have been asking for Trae Young to be shipped out for quite some time now. And I don't even think they want to even entertain fighting a Jalen Brunson war. I think they've pivoted to Jalen Johnson, who also is still not better than Jalen Brunson, but for them it's a better fight than having to try and throw Trae Young into the mix.
Everybody got to be everybody's better than Brunson until it's time to be better than Brunson. And nobody can be better than Brunson until it's time to be better than Brunson. We're not counting Halliburton because Tom Thibodeau sold us for 2 years. And I'm just like, at this point, man, he's going to get first team All-NBA if he's healthy and he makes the minimum.
He has to. He got robbed of it. He got robbed of it too many times already.
He got robbed 2 years ago because they decided, Jalen Brunson could get fifth on the MVP ladder, but he can't get first team because Jason Tatum had a better team, and that made no fucking sense. He got robbed of it last year when Donovan Mitchell, despite the fact that he was worse than Jalen Brunson, ended up getting first team All-NBA because he had the best record on the best team in the league. And now it's like he's going to get it this year.
Has to.
Like Giannis, I don't think Giannis qualifies for the minimum anymore. We know that Tatum's out. Luka has missed a couple of games already as well, so we'll see how many games he might miss going down the stretch. I think he's missed about 9 or 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, just counting out real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, yeah, he's missed 7. I do think that Brunson's going to get first team All-NBA. And I think he kind of has to because the production's there. The team record will be there. The performance, yeah. And Trae Young is not reaching these heights. Trae Young has never reached these heights. Trae Young, at best, was an All-NBA third-teamer, and that was 4 years ago.
Past is the past. Past is the past. Thing about the old days is that those the old days. Kevin McCullough Jr. actually won Defensive Player of the Game. Shout out to him.
Another dude getting it before Brunson. Crazy.
This probably would have been one of the few games Brunson probably would have gotten it. OG, another contender, probably for Defensive Player of the Game, especially with his defensive heroics at the end there. But I think overall tonight, with Kevin McCullough's just activity all around, pretty good way to make your first impression in the rotation. Tyler Kolek did not have a really good game, but I mean, you're able to kind of withstand that, because guys like McCullough Jr. are able to produce offensively today.
Yep, which speaks again to the depth and versatility the team has.
Mike Brown on Kevin McCullough Jr. today. Kevin was huge for us. We threw him out there, put him on different guys, had to guard Trae Young after playing in the G League all year. He's our defensive player of the game. If you go to Webster's, you'd see a couple of his plays under verticality. He was awesome. Good stuff.
Some good old glaze from Coach. Appreciate it.
Coach always knows the right things to say after these games to, hype these guys up a little bit.
It's always, I think it's just nice to have a coach like that who could just both publicly and privately to players, talk to them. And I
Yeah,
don't
I mean,
think
the
that
other day he told that story about like what he told Tyler Kolek in the locker room and how he was getting on him in front of everybody, and Tyler Kolek stepped up in the second half of that
he was
Minnesota games.
what?
Oh my god.
That's crazy, bro. He was getting on him in front of everybody.
All right.
Yo.
He kind of like reprimand. Not even, I don't even say reprimand. Like he was like
Yep. You could just say that he singled him out.
he singled him out in front of everybody. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Can't say shit. But yeah, he singled him out in front of everybody in the locker room, and and he told that story to the media, and that's something that I mean, last year we didn't really, I mean, all throughout Thibs' tenure, we've never heard about like anything that goes on in the locker room. It felt like it was like forbidden to like know what was happening within the locker room and stuff like that. So it's just nice to like, at least for us as fans, to kind of have that transparency of like a little bit of what's going on behind the scenes and like see how it's impacting what we see on the court.
Yeah, I mean, I think beforehand the Knicks were just kind of like Fort Knox, and now they're a lot looser. They're having more fun with the game. I just kind of feel like Mike Brown is able to get buy-in in a way that Tibbs was really never able to unless he had a specific set of guys. And now the Knicks are just, I think everybody's bought in, and I think everybody's willing to perform because they know that, hey, you can actually get an opportunity compared to last year, but it's like, no, you're not getting an opportunity unless it's bench time.
Yeah, no, for sure. What do we have here? Oh, here we go. Jared R1652 says, "What a time to be alive. We finally have the random role player game." It feels like we're getting these a lot more often now just because Mike Brown has been willing to just play a lot more random role players that we have. So we're able to have that variance of, this guy might have it tonight. And, if he has it tonight, Mike Brown is more willing to keep him out there and stuff like that. So.
Yep. Just like being able to build that kind of trust. And Tibbs never let you build that trust. And that was a big problem with Tibbs. Like Mike Brown, you can legitimately build trust with him. Like we saw it with Hart. You've seen it with Deuce. You've seen it with Kolek now. Like guys are able to make impacts and have their moments.
Yeah, and that's been extremely encouraging to see. Brown, of course, we talked about him being able to hype up guys. He said OG's an all-star if he wants to be. His size, length, strength, athleticism, his feel, he can do so much. He just has to impose his will every play. When he does, didn't shoot the ball well, still 15 and 10. That's more than attainable by him. Knightley was awesome in the clutch.
Some good plays. Yep.
Yep. Brandon Williams, 9505. Alan Hahn throwing shots at the franchise player for not getting back on defense in the first half. Yeah,
Alan hates that.
He really does. Rightfully so.
I don't blame him.
Rightfully so. I mean, if that's going to be, how the franchise player over there performs, you can see why they didn't, extend any contract with him. So, the D1995B, I think Houston could do well with Trae Young. They just need a point guard, and he should be covered by their giant lineup, possibly. The only thing is if he'll accept in his role in the pecking order and defer.
I'd rather have healthy Fred VanVleet.
Like, and I think Houston probably would too.
Yeah, like if Fred VanVleet doesn't tear his ACL, then like we're not having this conversation. Like, and the thing is, like, you could probably get like a James Harden this offseason too. Like he's probably available, and it's like I'd rather have James Harden than Trae Young at this point because I know James Harden can play next to stars, and I know that James Harden can do a lot of the off-ball stuff that Trae Young can't. And James Harden, even at 36 years old, is still able to shoot the shit out of the ball. Like he's shooting 37% on like volume. Yeah, he's taking 9 threes a game. Per 100 possessions, he's taking 13. So like this is this is good shit as a shooter. And he's still like over 60% true shooting, easily clearing it. Like, yeah, I would rather just have Harden.
Yeah, no, there's better options for Houston than Trae Young. And I think Houston fans would rather scoop their eyeballs out with spoons than watch Trae Young play for their team.
Yep.
Chris Bernhardt says that Trae Young is now 7-18 against the Knicks in his lifetime. So much for owning the Knicks.
Yeah, like it's over for that, bro. Like, let that shit go.
Shout out to Trae Young for being so butt that when he came back in the game, I knew that the Knicks were gonna win.
Yeah.
Oh, Chris Bernhardt here brings up the 4 All-Star Hawks here that got waxed by Bron and Kyrie. Did they turn into trash after the 60-win year? I think they did, but they also had a little bit of roster turnover for them. And I will look into that really quickly because I do want to see. It was the 2015-16 Hawks, I believe.
Yeah.
I believe. No, that was not their year. That was. Let me see. It was the 14-15 Hawks. And let me just take a look at their roster really quickly. Ken Bazemore, Elton Brand, DeMar Carroll. Elton Brand was on this team? What the hell?
Yeah. I don't know, ball, apparently. Shit.
I do not remember. Okay, Jeff Teague, that makes sense. Cephalosha got cracked by a cop. Like his he got beat with the nightstick by a cop in New York.
Oh yeah,
and he got hurt, and that kind of derailed their season, especially towards the end, because they didn't have anyone defensively for LeBron in that series, and Cephalosha was assumed to be one of those people that would have taken that role. I only remember this because I was watching a video on the Hawks the other day. It popped up on my YouTube recommended. Let me take a look at their roster. Yeah, I mean, they had some significant roster turnover. Kirk Heinrich and Tim Hardaway Jr. were 2 additions to their team, different from the year before. But yeah, no, this is a similar sort of fall off too, though.
Yep.
But that Hawks team also wasn't supposed to be that good.
They didn't have the star power that the Cavs team does.
Yeah, and that's why the Cavs team's collapse is a little bit more disappointing.
Because is it
and unexpected?
This is
not really unexpected, but unexpected for. It's not unexpected for us, especially as Knicks fans. We've kind of been harping on the Cavs or frauds things for years because we beat them in the playoffs before. But yeah, no, I mean, this is like you said, it's kind of unprecedented for a team with this much talent, and the season that they had last year for them to come into the season and for it to be the way they are right now.
Yeah, that's just not supposed to happen. And not only is it happening, they're free falling fast.
Yeah, they're joining the Atlanta, Chicago, Miami Invitational this year. It seems like
it's really those teams every year, bro. It's so funny. It's so funny.
The shit was made for them.
I know. It's the fucking Southeast Invitational, dude. That's really what it is. And then Chicago just shows up because they ain't got nowhere else to be.
Because they refuse to do anything on a large scale on either side, whether it's selling off all their pieces or completely buying in, but they can never fully buy in because what do they have that teams want? Next week on Monday this week on Monday on the road, or next week actually, next week because it's not Sunday yet. Next week on the road versus the Pelicans, Wednesday on the road versus the Spurs, back-to-back at home on Friday and Saturday with the Hawks on Friday and Sixers on Saturday to finish the week. I think they should beat the Pelicans. They should beat the Spurs because the Jazz were able to beat the Spurs today.
Because I'm in the fucking building and they should beat the Spurs.
I don't know. Have we beat them since you've
No.
went to the games? Yeah, we lost that game, y'all. Yo, take Spurs money line. Tyrese is in the building.
Legitimately, probably. But I'm like, listen, it's been 4 years of this shit. I'm tired of losing this fucking team every time.
Honestly, there's no reason that the Knicks can't go 4-0 this week.
They should be able to go 4-0.
Like, I'm at that point with this team right now. Like, they've shown me enough where I'm confident they can go 4-0 this week.
Like, I want 30 wins before we get to 10 losses. That's how I'm feeling.
Yeah, no.
Like, is it doable? Yeah, probably not. But like,
I feel
like let's get greedy.
With this Knicks team, why not start to, I don't want to say feel ourselves a little bit, but just be a little bit more confident in this team.
Get greedy. I think the Knicks are good enough to feel like they can get greedy.
Mike Brown on going deep in the bench with injuries. That's what having a team's about. I feel confident in all our guys. Deuce and Landry out. Got to go next man. Josh out. Got to go next man. We just want guys to give us what they're capable of. Hard minutes. All of our guys did. And now contrast that quote with whatever Dibbs would have said in years past when he would play guys 40 plus minutes and play like two guys off the bench, real minutes. I don't feel like digging for quotes from Dibbs from the last year or so. Maybe someone else can find them and bring them up, but I feel like this is such a stark difference from what we've experienced as Knicks fans, and it's a welcome difference.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I think it's just nice to have a coach that legitimately, again, trusts the team that he has in front of him instead of trying to get them to be something that they're not.
Yeah, no. But yeah, no, I think for the most part, that's pretty much it for today's show. Not really much else to talk about. Let's see. Yeah, no, I mean, Knicks did their thing. It's so nice that the Knicks have shown the ability to win a variety of ways because, of course, last year we were so used to the Knicks always being in clutch games. This year, the Knicks really haven't been in much clutch games, but these last two, they've kind of reminded us, hey, we can still win games in the clutch even if we need to.
Yep.
So, that's been encouraging to see that they haven't lost their edge on that end in that regard. And, they still are able to dominate teams as well. So,
yeah, I just think they've been, and they're just kind of showing that they can do everything. They can win dirty, they can win clean, they can come back, they can blow teams out, and that's what you want to be able to do.
Yeah. All right. Shout out to everyone that tuned in. Make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe. Make sure you guys check out all the links in the description. Shout out to FanDuel once again for sponsoring us. And we'll catch you guys probably after the next game. Next game that will probably be on next Saturday. Most likely.
Yep.
All right, everyone, enjoy the rest of your week. Happy holidays, happy New Year, and all that good stuff. Peace.